Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I am going to start this video and then go to bed. Welcome back. If you're new around here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It really does help my channel. Today is actually Sunday night, pretty close to bedtime for me. Heather from Belle's Library and I are doing another video together, and I think so. This is called the Love-Hate Challenge. If you're unfamiliar with it, I first saw it on the two Emma's channels. There's Emma from Drinking by Yourself and Emma from Emma Dubai, I believe. I will try and link both their channels down below, but they do something very similar. It's like Battle of the Emmas because they're both named Emma, and they do something very much the same, so I very much stole this from them. But Heather and I have done, I think, one other round of this, and here's round two. Last year, I think it was last year, maybe the beginning of this year. I'm going to go with last year. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. We did our first round, which was the theme of like cold words or like things that make you cold. So we read two books that both had like cold settings, then two movies that were kind of cold, and two songs that gave you like chilling or cold vibes. This year, since you will be seeing this in October, I'm currently filming this in September. We're gonna get into it tomorrow, which is September 19th. Basically, each of us have given the other booktuber two movies to watch, two books to read, and since it's Halloween right now, or like Halloween is in the air, we decided to do two types of candy. Instead of two songs, I'm going to go over quickly what she gave me. The whole goal of the Love-Hate Challenge is for me to see how well I know Heather and her reading, or just her, to see if she obviously hates one of the candies she gave me and loves the other one, and same with movies and books. So we're going to start a little bit of one of the books tonight because I'm just so excited. When we actually get to the part of the vlog where we're actually reading the books and watching the movies and stuff like that, I will tell you more about each one because there are some that I don't know much about. Let's start with the books because that's why we're all here. Horrid by Katrina Leno, and The Patient by Jasper DeWitt. So I own The Patient by Jasper DeWitt on Kindle. So yeah, working on that Kindle book, or working on that Kindle TBR. But then I borrowed Horrid from the library on audiobook because I tend to have problems with I didn't like the other Katrina Leno book that I've read, and I'm not really big into young adults, so that one scares me. I'm trying to think like Heather though. I think initially my prediction is that Heather likes Horrid by Katrina Leno and didn't like The Patient by Jasper DeWitt. I've heard somewhere that The Patient is kind of gross, and Heather and I both didn't like The Troop by Nick Cutter because it was so gross, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, let's keep going. Movies. I'm not going to tell you what I picked for her to watch and read and what kind of candy I picked. So you have to go check out her video. Go do it. Go. And then come back and see me. So for the movies, there's The Nun, which is a 2018 movie. I don't know anything about that one. I'm assuming it's going to be a spooky movie about a nun, maybe a possession story. But I don't know, so don't quote me on it. Then the other movie is House of Wax, which came out, I think this is the remake, which it came out in 2005 with Chad Michael Murray and Paris Hilton. And yes, I have seen this movie before. When it first came out, I was obsessed. But I do not think it's a good... It's not a good movie. It's so cheesy. It's so terrible. So going into our movies, my prediction is that House of Wax is the movie she didn't like, and she likes The Nun. But like I said, you know, these are just fun little maybe predictions. Yeah, they're predictions. And then we got candy to celebrate Halloween. So the thing is that, here, I'm going to tell you a secret. I don't like candy. I know, I'm probably like the only person in the world, but I do not like candy. So this was probably the hardest part for me. But she got very seasonal with hers. Very Halloween-ish. And the first one is salted caramel Twix. And the second one is candy corn flavored red vines. I just think that candy corn flavored red vines sound disgusting. So again, I'm going with the assumption that she doesn't like the candy corn flavored red vines, and she does like salted caramel Twix. So those are my predictions. I am updating this love-hate challenge vlog. Finally, it is basically 24 hours from when I just talked to you. Yeah, that was 24 hours ago. Anyways, I have started The Patient by Jasper DeWitt. So, it's not what I thought it was going to be. So far, it's like this character study. Yeah, I guess that's what you would call it. Because you're kind of just looking at these files from previously about this guy that is still in the psych ward of a hospital, and you kind of follow this psychologist, but you kind of don't. So far, it's not creepy, it's just weird. I'm hoping that more creepy stuff happens. I think I'm like 40 pages in, and it's actually a very short book. But I am having problems reading it just because it's just weird. And it's just like blah to it. I don't like it, but I don't hate it either. It's just kind of weird, I guess. Hey friends! So I haven't updated this vlog since last night. It is almost 24 hours later. I got some candy to try for this Love Heat Challenge. But first, let me update you on the book. I have read like 50-ish pages of The Patient by Jasper DeWitt. So far, it's not at all what I was expecting. It's more of a character study on this psychopath, and his psychiatrist, and I don't like it. I'll update you when that changes, or when I finish the book. It's a very short book, but I'm having so much trouble focusing on it. So I wanted to take a break from that and try the most hated candy and the most loved candy. So my prediction is that Heather likes the salted caramel Twix and she hates the candy corn licorice, but we get to try it and see. I had to order this candy corn licorice online because I couldn't find it anywhere. I had to order it off Amazon. This is my husband, for anyone that was wondering. He's gonna try this candy with me. It smells. Do you want to smell it?
It's pure sugar. Yep, pure sugar.
Oh, it
smells like
smells so gross.
It smells like maple syrup.
It does. I like maple syrup, but not like this.
How many of these did you buy?
3 packages? It's a sword fight.
I won.
I won. Okay, ready?
No.
1, 2, 3.
It's pure sugar.
Yeah. I don't like candy corn though, so I didn't think I would like this. Oh. You have to eat 3 boxes of this.
I think you should take to school and give it to your children.
Oh. Oh, no. I'm good. I'm done. I didn't even finish mine. You want the rest of mine? Oh. I hope that's the thing you don't like, Heather.
That's the thing I don't like.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the only problem with this is that I think it melted partially.
Yeah.
It definitely melted. That's okay. You can still try it.
It's all gross, isn't it?
Yep. Ready? 1, 2.
See, they smell good. That I like.
Okay. This is not bad. I don't really eat candy ever. I especially don't eat chocolate because technically I'm not supposed to. Even melted and frozen again. I don't think it's quite all the way frozen though. This isn't bad. I would eat this.
It might even be better than the regular Twix.
Actually, I think it is. Okay. So, I'm going to say Heather loves these salted caramel Twix because they're delicious. And we don't like the candy corn red vines because it's just like pure sugar that kind of tastes like maple syrup. I will see you guys later when I have an update on books or movies. Probably books though. Bye. a reading update. So I am about halfway done with The Patient by Jasper DeWitt. I was not reading. It's a very short book, but I wasn't reading it very fast. And I just could not read it with my eyes. So I got the audiobook that I'm about halfway done with. This book is not it, y'all. Like, this book is not it at all. Hey friends, so I don't think I've updated you at all today. It's currently Tuesday night at like 9:30. Ooh, 10 o'clock. I worked until 8 o'clock tonight, which is late for me, but I had trainings that were online, and since I had done most of them, but I still had to do like okay, it's weird. It's like asynchronous is when you can do it on your own and you just get everything done. So I did most of my stuff asynchronous last week, so it was all done. This week I had to meet with I had to meet synchronously for 2 meetings before and after we did our projects, but my projects were already done, so I kind of just stayed at school and I worked on making my library so pretty because it's been stressing me out so bad. But while I was working on my classroom, I finished The Patient by Jasper DeWitt, which is the only 2 of the books that we are going to be talking about. The only one that I really wanted to read, but like, I don't know now. It's weird. I'm not really liking this lighting either. Maybe this will help. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Much better. So I think when I updated you last time, I said that I wasn't really liking it. I just started the audiobook because I couldn't really get into the actual writing. That is all very, very true. So you follow a psychologist, or you follow a therapist, and then you follow this man who has been in like isolation in the hospital since he was 6 years old. It's like 30 years later, and he's been, just in the hospital. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. The first 70% of this book, and this book is really short, was not good. I was just hating every second of it. So I was for sure thinking that Heather hates The Patient by Jasper DeWitt. Then, the big then, there was a bombshell in that book. And I'm not going to tell you because spoilers, but I'm thinking about it. And the first part of this bombshell, because there are a couple of different parts to this bombshell. At first part, I was like, oh, okay, I saw that coming. The second part, I was like, ooh, okay, I like what she did there. I like what he did there. I like where this went. But ultimately, this book was so boring. It was more like a case study, which I don't like reading. And it felt very forced at times. And I wanted to be scared and I wanted to love this. So I think I might round up and give it 3 stars, but it's like really a 2 or a 3. I think I'm gonna be nice because I want to say 2.5. So I would normally round that up to 3. So I guess that's not terrible. Because there was this one thing that happened that just, like, what? So, update friends, so I think that you have seen me read The Patient by Jasper DeWitt, and you've seen me do the candy challenge, and so I still need to watch the movies, which I haven't started, and I need to update you on Horrid. So, Horrid by Katrina Leno was the second book for the Love Hate Challenge that Heather picked for me to read. I have not started it, but I finally got the ebook and the audiobook at the same time through my library. So, you know what I'm going to be doing tonight? Some Horrid by Katrina Leno, and then I think I'm going to have a movie night either tomorrow or Friday night. It is currently Wednesday night, so I want to try and knock the rest of this challenge out. I was supposed to be done like on Sunday, Monday-ish, but I'm running like a week late, but I think Heather is too, so it's okay. I am so hoping that Horrid is better. I just got the audiobook, so I'm gonna start listening. I actually listen to my audiobooks fairly fast, so I think it's an 8-hour audiobook, but at my speed, it says it's a little under 4 hours. So, we might finish it tonight and then just have a movie night tomorrow to wrap up this video, but so far, because we've only read one book, I really, really hope that that's the one you hated, Heather, but at the same time, if it's the one you love, I can understand that because of that twist. Like, I didn't see that twist coming, but at the same time, I kind of thought altogether that horror thriller was very, very bland and generic, had no flavor. So, I did finish the candy though. I'm gonna say that you hate the candy corn licorice and that you like the caramel, the salted caramel Twix, because that's how I feel, and like that licorice, no thank you. No thank you, next. I almost made you eat black and red licorice because I love one and I hate the other, and I thought that'd be an interesting little candy to pick, but you know, I didn't do that, obviously. So I will catch you guys in the morning, hopefully. I'm so sorry that I haven't been very good at vlogging, but okay, I lied. It's been like 5 seconds in real life, and I was gonna come start some food, and I started the, like, she's eating books. What? Who eats books? I mean, some might say that I eat books because I read them so fast, but like, does she literally eat them? I have to figure this out. I'm definitely gonna finish this today. Knock on wood. Like, I hope. I kind of sketched out my whole night Like, my husband won't be off work for 3 hours, and I have 3.5 hours for this audiobook. So, we're gonna do this tonight. We have to. Maybe you'll watch me make some dinner. I'm not entirely sure what I'm gonna make. I'm thinking like chicken pasta. If you didn't know, I eat a lot of pasta, probably too much pasta, but it's like one of my favorite things in the world. Is like a big comforting bowl of pasta. Doesn't that just like sound amazing? I mean, I think it does. Anyways. Okay, I'm like halfway through Horrid by Katrina Leno. Every time we do this challenge, Heather picks 2 books, and I end up hating both of them. So The Patient by Jasper DeWitt felt like just a bunch of cliches all thrown into one book, and it was just like cliche, 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 and I hated it. This one feels like a young adult coming of age story, and nothing's happening. With that being said, I don't like young adult novels, ever. Heather, I don't know. I don't know which one you liked and which one you hated. At this point, I'm just so bored. Like, I wouldn't finish this right now. I would go do something else. But I am still working on dinner. And I'll just cook dinner and listen to some more of this audiobook, but really not liking it. audiobook of Horrid, and something finally happened that made me think, oh my gosh, that is so cool. So I actually had to rewind it and listen to this part 3 times, and I really, really like this part. But again, I kind of have the same feelings as I had for The Patient. Like, is it too little too late type of thing? Like, do I not really care because it took this long and it's so boring, and it's just like, yeah, I understand the grief, and I don't like the coming of age story. I just don't like young adult very much anymore because I don't feel, I can't connect to it. And I don't really like the main character. And I just am just reading this, just finishing this, just to say that I did, but I'm really not liking it. Which is bad because now I have 2 books that I personally didn't like either of them. But do I go with the one that I liked slightly more? And so far, like, yeah, that twist in here was pretty good, but not like wow factor like The Patient. So I'm thinking, just based on the ending, and I don't know. I don't like either of these books. I guess I'll update you when I finish. I just don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't like these books. Good morning. I finished Horrid by Katrina Leno last night. I didn't like it at all. So, I'm trying to think, like, one of the books that I read was the love one, and one was the hate one. And, like, I have strong hatred towards both of them. So I'm wondering if maybe I just don't like horror novels. Like, I know that I say that I do, and that I'm relatively new to the horror genre, but everything I read that is horror is terrible. First off, let's talk about Horrid real quick. I don't have a lot to say. I have to say the last part of the book was better than the rest, but it's supposed to be like ghostly vibes, but really it just felt like a young adult contemporary that was about grief. And I'm sorry, but there's like a million young adult contemporaries about grief, and this one didn't stick out to me at all. I sound harsh right now. I'm probably gonna give this one, I've been arguing with myself about 1 or 2 stars. So, probably 2 stars, but I'll update you later for sure. We still have to have a movie night, and maybe it'll help me feel better about both of the really, really annoying, boring books. I really don't know which one Heather likes at this point. I think I'm gonna have to sit on Horrid for a little bit, and I might update you later on my thoughts. But changing gears a little, what do you think of my red lipstick? Makes me stand out, you know? Well, I have to finish getting lunch ready for my husband and I, because I'm nice and I usually always pack him lunch, except for there are days where, like, he works and I don't, like on Labor Day. I had that day off, but he had to go to work. I don't get myself up early and make him food on those days. He can do it himself. But generally speaking, I make us both breakfast, or both lunch, and I make myself breakfast. But I don't really know what to say. It was about grief. The house that they moved to from California to Maine, I did wonder for a while if it was haunted. And I did enjoy that aspect. Not really. It was kind of like a boring kind of haunting. So, I don't know, maybe I should test on my channel if I actually even like horror novels, because I'm beginning to think that I don't. Last day of the love-hate challenge, and I'm wearing my little heart sweater to represent the love portion of this challenge. Hubby Man and I got Panda Express, and then we're gonna go have a movie night. We're gonna watch House of Wax and The Nun, because those are the movies that Heather picked for us. One she loves, one she hates. This is honey sesame chicken and some lo mein noodles. I cannot wait to dig into it. And then I'll show you hubby's dinner too. His is Beijing beef with noodles. Gross.
I should tell you one more thing, Father.
Why?
That's not how I left her.
What do you mean?
She was laying down when you left her here. Not like that, sitting up.
I finished The Nun last night. Today, right now, I'm going to tell you my thoughts on the books, movies, and candy that were part of this challenge. Then I will tell you what I think Heather thinks of these books, movies, and candy that she had me try. And then we will pop it over to Heather for a minute to find out the truth. And then we'll pretty much just be saying goodbye from there. I wanted to start with books, but I'm still getting my thoughts together for the books. So let's start with movies. I watched the House of Wax and The Nun. So going into this, I had already seen House of Wax, and I thought that it was cheesy and campy and screamed like early 2000s, like campy slasher horror, like reminiscent of Scream or I Know What You Did Last Summer, which are also movies that I love. So I knew that I would like House of Wax. I knew it would be a fun time for me. But usually, I'm the unpopular opinion when it comes to like campy, slasher, cheesy films like House of Wax. Like, it really is a cheesy, fun time. But I absolutely love it. So, I thought, oh, okay, I've never seen The Nun. I looked at the preview and it looked really good. So initially I thought, Heather likes The Nun and she didn't like House of Wax for the reason that I just said. Then I watched The Nun. I've already seen The Nun. And I forgot. Because it was so boring and nothing happens. And I didn't like it. I did not like it at all. Like I said, it was so slow. It was very boring. Okay. Then let's move on to the candy. This one's very, very easy. The candy corn licorice was just pure sugar. And although some people might like that, I hated it. But the salted caramel Twix was so hard to find here, but it was so good. It was delicious, and mine had even already melted a little bit, and I had put it in the freezer to save it, but it was already too late, but I still liked it. It was still good. I don't really eat chocolate or candy ever, but I enjoyed the salted caramel Twix a lot. Now the books. This was so hard because okay, first let's address the elephant in the room. I read The Patient by Jasper DeWitt, and I think at one point I said I'm going to give it 2.5 stars and round up to a 3. I lied. I gave both The Patient and the Katrina Leno book. Oh my gosh, what book did I read by Katrina Leno? Okay. Horrid by Katrina Leno and The Patient by Jasper DeWitt. Both got 2 stars for me. I particularly didn't like either of them. So that is going to be the hardest part about this challenge, is guessing which book you liked and which book you didn't like, Heather. But I think I have my ideas. I hated both of them. I thought that Horrid, let's just start with that one. I thought that Horrid, I don't like young adult anyway. It was young adult. It was very, very boring. It was kind of dark and atmospheric. I guess I could see that. But like, it just felt very forced, and I didn't care about the characters, and I just wanted it to be over. And then I read The Patient by Jasper DeWitt, and I was so excited for this book. This was on my TBR. I actually owned this one on Kindle. I was so excited for it because it says if you like The Silent Patient, you'll like this. Yeah, I loved The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. I hated The Patient. Like, it felt like every cliche in the book just thrown into one story, and I didn't care about the characters again, and I just didn't like it. So I hated both of the books that you suggested for me. Here is the big reveal of my thoughts of what Heather likes and what she didn't like. Drum roll, please. That was a lousy drum roll. Oh, doo, 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 doo. That doesn't sound like a drum either. Okay. So, my guesses are that Heather likes Horrid. by Katrina Leno. I'm just going based off last time when we did the Love-Hate Challenge, and she had me read a Nina LaCour book that kinda is reminiscent of the Katrina Leno book that she had me read this time. Only Horrid is more like scary, and I don't remember, the book by Nina LaCour was not quite as scary, but nothing happened in that book either, and she loves that book. And they both discuss like mental health and grieving and things like that. So I'm going with Horrid by Katrina Leno is the one that you love, and the one that you hated was The Patient by Jasper DeWitt. I hated them both, so this one is kind of just a guess. I'm either going to be really lucky or I'm not going to know it all. The movies, though. I'm more confident about this answer. Going into this, I thought that you, Heather, have hated House of Wax and that you loved The Nun. But The Nun was so boring and so forgettable and so slow because I have seen it when it first came out, but I forgot. That changed my mind. I think you are like me, and you like the cheesy, campy type horror like House of Wax. So I'm going with you like House of Wax, and you didn't like The Nun. And our final decision is candy. I think that you like the caramel salted Twix, and you don't like the candy corn licorice because, like, who would like that? So from here, I'm gonna shoot it over to Heather to tell you the truth, and then we're gonna say goodbye. So, Heather, take it away.
Hey Alita, I am so excited to be doing this challenge with you again. I adored doing it with you before, and now we have spooky season fun going on as well. So I'm here to tell you which ones I loved and which ones I hated, and we'll see if you were right. I'm hoping maybe I tricked you a little bit, but honestly I wasn't really thinking about that. I just was trying to find some decent stuff that I loved and hated. So let's go ahead and start with the candy, which I know I sent you on a little bit of a wild goose chase for this one, but I'm really hoping that you enjoyed the salted caramel Twix because I love those. Twix is delicious, but you add the saltedness to it. Oh my gosh, I love like salted caramel mochas and all of that fun stuff. Just, yes, sweet, salty, smash it together. I'm there. Yum. So on the other side of that, my hate was dots. I don't like gummy type candies, and like, I don't know, they're just not my favorite, but dots just really, I don't know. It's just not my vibe. Now let's talk about the movies, which I feel like were really obvious, but maybe not. House of Wax. Did I love it or hate it? Hated it. It was awful. I don't think anybody watched and liked that movie. Maybe it was just me, but I'm pretty sure I remember people just really not liking that movie. It's been quite a while since I watched it, but I just remember it being kind of cheesy and ridiculous, and it just was not my favorite. But The Nun, actually all of the movies pretty much in that Conjuring series of things, love those. And The Nun was creepy as S-H-I-T. So yeah, that one, loved it. House of Wax, not so much. Now, moving on to books. I figured I'd save that for last since we're mostly a couple of bookish channels. We had Horrid by Katrina Leno and The Patient by Jasper DeWitt. So I'm really hoping that you liked The Patient. I felt like maybe it might be something you like, but I'm not totally sure. So I'm kind of curious as your vibes on that one, but that was the one that I loved. I remember reading that one. I think I read it in like one day, maybe two, but I was laying in bed in the dark and it was kind of creeping me the heck out. Like, I was legit getting a little scared. So I'm hoping that that kind of gave you some vibes with that as well, and it was kind of an interesting story for you. Horrid, I just had such hopes for, and I love the cover of it. It's gorgeous. But I just felt like it didn't go anywhere, and the build-up just kind of like petered off, and then the ending just like lost everything. Like there just was nothing there. So that one was a dud for me. So that is my loves and my hates, and I'm working on getting through all of your books and movies and candies and all of that. So I can't wait to see if I get yours right. But we'll talk soon. Bye.
And now that you know how Heather feels and if I was right or wrong, I will see you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, where we're always doing fun bookish challenges and talking about books, and it's just a lot of fun over here. Bye.